Hey, shalom, family. And about this time, it's almost on the Sabbath. Our brothers and sisters, and I say, Toda Yada, each and every one of you, brothers and sisters. May the peace of Yah be with each and every one of you. Brothers and sisters, at this time, brothers and sisters, we living in some serious times. And I'm pretty sure many of my brothers know these things that is awakening sisters that is awakening at this time. Know these as a fact. And so I'm continuing the book of Hosea in chapter 4, picking up where I left off at, brothers and sisters, showing you the plans of Yah concerning his Messiah that will come. So I'm gonna go back up and rehearse real quick, chapter 3, verse 4 to 5. No, matter of fact, I'm gonna start with chapter 3, verse 2, because the Father Yah was showing Hosea how he was gonna treat Israel Yah and Israel Yah when they return back unto him. So he told Hosea to go and marry this prostitute. And then she went out and played the harlot. She prostituted herself, had children, and then Abiyah told him to accept her back. In verse 4 say, this illustrates the fact that Israel will be a long time without a king and prince. But let me go read back to verse 2. It says, so I bought her back from her slavery for a couple of dollars and 8 bushels of barley. And I said to her, you must live alone for many days. Do not go out with other men, nor be a prostitute. Now I will wait for you. He said, this illustrates the fact that Israel Yah will be a long time without a king or a prince, and without a altar, which is a slaughter place, a temple, priests, or even idols. And now it's been 2,700 years for the northern nation, Israel Yah, and around 2,100 years for Yah since they've been out of the land. And they've been out of the land for a long time without a king, without a Messiah. These are the words of Yah, brothers and sisters. And this is what I point out to the brothers and sisters, showing them that the New Testament is false. And they bring forth a false Messiah with all these stories to deceive the people. So let me get into verse 4, brothers and sisters. It says, hear the words of Yah, O people of Israel Yah. Yah has filed a lawsuit against you. It said, listening the following charges. There is no faithfulness. See, these were the charges of Yah brought against us. He said, there's no faithfulness, no kindness, no knowledge of a rod in the land. You swear and lie and kill and steal and commit adultery. There is violence everywhere, with one murder after another murder. You see this, brother and sister? This was going on. So it's nothing new in America that did not go on in our own land, brothers and sisters. This is the evilness of our people that turned from Yah and forgot Yah and done these things. And that's why the Father Yah put us out of that land. He said, that is why your land is not producing. It is filled with sadness, and all living things grow sick and die. The animals, the birds, and even the fish begin to disappear. He said, don't point your finger at someone else and try to pass the blame to him. Look, priest, I am pointing my finger at you. See, these were the leaders. He said, I am pointing my finger at you as a sentence for your crimes. You priests will stumble in broad daylight as well as in the night, and so will your false prophets too. And I will destroy your mother, Israel, Yah. My people are destroyed because they don't know me. Some translators say my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. See, and it is all your fault. I am reading this from the Living Bible at this time, paraphrase translations. So read a little different from yours, unless you have a copy. He said, my people are destroyed because they don't know me. It is all your fault, you priests, for you yourselves refuse to know me. Therefore, I refuse to recognize you as my priest, since you have forgotten my laws. See, and I will forget to bless your children, Barak your children. You see that, brothers and sisters? That's why we didn't have a king. When the prophet's words came out, it was sealing their doom for a period of time. That's why when the prophets spoke, nobody came after the prophets when the Father sealed it. No Messiah came. So everything in the New Testament is false. They only put certain scriptures from the original text into their book to deceive you, and came up with their own Messiah to draw you away from the words of Yah. But you got to remember the prophets. Remember the Father told Yashaya, the one they call Isaiah, the prophet. If it's not according to the law and the prophets, there's no truth in these people. You got to know what the prophet said, brothers and sisters, because the books was closed. Yes, the visions and the dreams were closed from the time of the prophets. Ended. The true prophets. And the day of Yah came, and they was expelled out of the land and scattered throughout the earth. So let me continue to read, brothers and sisters. We read here. 7. He said, the more my people multiply, the more they sin against me. They exchanged the honor of Bara, who was the creator, for the dishonor of idols. You see what they exchanged the honor of Yah for? Idols, Elohims. What many people serve today for the gods. They changed the honor of Yah for the dishonor. See, this is dishonor. Everybody should know what idols are. They call idols gods, Elohims, Els. See, y'all say it's a dishonor. Some of your translators might say disgrace, but it's dishonor. They exchanged, they left the honor of Yah to serve the things of gods and lords and wood and stone. The Elohims. Verse 8. It said the priests rejoice in the sins of their people. They lapped it up and licked their lips for more. Thus it is, like priests, like people. See, the people who follow the priests that went astray from Yah and forgotten the five laws. They left the five laws and walked in the ways of the nations, what ABBA called adultery. They left their first love. And ABBA called this in our earlier days. Let me keep reading. It said, because the priests are wicked, the people are too. See, because the priest was the one ABBA put in charge to teach the people. It said, therefore I will punish both priests and people for all their wickedness deeds. See, and they will eat and still be hungry, though they do a big business as prostitutes. They shall have no children, for they have deserted me and turned to Elohims. They turn to Elohim's gods by deserting ABBA. He said, wine and woman and song have robbed my people of their brains. You see that? The wine, don't that sound like a nightclub? A lot of people love partying right now. It's the Sabbath, and many people's getting up to party to put on their finest clothes they have, the most horse clothes they could put on. Go and get some wine, strong drink, woman, and songs. That's what these people gather to. Have robbed my people of their brains. See, I'll say these things rob his people of their brains. And then the three combinations that make up all the nightclubs that people go to on the weekend. Can't wait for the weekend to go to these places. It's for they are asking a piece of wood to tell them what to do. There's a divine truth comes to them through tea leaves. See, righteous truth comes to them through tea leaves. Instead of the law of Yah that is perfect. Longing after idols, see, has made them foolish. See, the longing of our people after idols, Elohims, they call the idols the images Elohims, has made them foolish. For they have played the harlot, see, serving Elohims, gods, deserting me. Y'all said deserting me. See, this is what this is all about, brothers and sisters. Our people turn to the Elohim, the gods that they love to this day. Deserting me, verse 13. They offer to idols. See, I want y'all to contemplate on this right here, brothers. You see how many times this is mentioned in the Hosea, throughout its whole writings. This is the greatest sin of our people that turn to the gods, the Elohim. ABBA is not a god, he's not an Elohim. Regardless of what you might find in the meanings, they all false. They're always trying to apply to ABBA as a god and attach him because they use this word strength. And many people use this word, but they don't know this is what got them put out of the land, our ancestors. And some people go to their grave believing that they're Elohim, but still be false. Let me read it. It says, for they have played the harlot serving Elohim. They got the word other to try to insinuate that the Father is a God likewise. But you'll see, deserting me, 13, they offer to idols on the tops of mountains. They go up into the hills to burn incense in pleasant shades of oaks and poplars and terebinth trees. It's a dead your daughters turn to prostitution, and your brides commit adultery. But why should I punish them? For you men are doing the same thing, see? Sin with harlots and temple prostitution. Fools, that's what I call them, fool, ignorant of the truth of Yah, the words of Yah. He said, your doom is sealed, for you refuse to understand. You see that? Yah said through Hosea, their doom is sealed. It was sealed. So this comes from Hosea. You know, it wouldn't be no Messiah given if he said your doom is sealed. He put a stamp on it. So many people was sentenced to die. Not to get a Messiah. They're going to tell them to baptize and all these type of things, what they put in the King James Version. He said for a long time, and then the scripture plainly tell you when the king will be reinstated. So let me keep reading, brothers and sisters, the prophet words that Abiyah gave unto him. He said, your doom is sealed, for you refuse to understand. He said, but though Israel is a prostitute, may Yada stay far from such a life. O Yada, do not join with those who insincerely worship me at Gilgal and at Bethel. See, the house of God, the house of El. He said, their worship is mere pretense. It's sad to say everybody know Yah to join in with them later. So let me continue to read. It said their worship is mere pretense. He said, don't be like Israel, stubborn as a heifer, resisting Yah's attempt to lead her in green pastures. See, y'all try to back then try to call the nation, the northern nation, back into the fold, but they was stubborn at that time. It said resisting Yah's attempt to lead her to in green pastures. It said stay away from her, for she is wedding to idolatry. See, idolatry, Elohim worship, God worship, what they call the idols. They committed to these things, brothers and sisters, at that time. 18, it said, then men of Israel finished up their drinking bouts, like many of our brothers do today, and off they go to find some whores. And I see that all over the towns I go into, brother. People drinking like crazy. Even in my immediate family, drinking like they don't have no sense, like it's no tomorrow. Every day looking for their next drink. The men and women alike in my family. This no lie. Many of them. So let me read it. 18. Then men of Israel finished up their drinking bouts, and off they go to find some whores. Their love for shame is greater than for honor. See that? So don't think that it's an honor. That is a shame for every man and woman that do these things. Go out there and waste their money to get to buy drinks, to get drunk, to go to the party. It's a shame. It's not honor. Let me continue. It said, therefore a mighty wind shall sweep them away, and they shall die in shame because they offered to idols. See that? You see what occurred to our people back then? And why a lot of our people getting hauled off to the prison houses, brothers and sisters. I'm going to continue in verse 5 since I got a little more time. I'm going to try to go to about a half an hour with this video. Continue off with chapter 5. It said, listen to this. I'm in chapter 5 now. Listen to this, you priests and all of Israel leaders. See, this was the sin on Israel before. So keep that in mind. He said it was sealed for 2,700 years ago. They've been out of the land. It was sealed. They got no king, nothing. He said afterwards they will return to Yah, their Barak, and to the Messiah. Let me go back up. That was later. In verse chapter 4, verse 3 say, this illustrates the fact that Israel will be a long time without a king or a prince. See, the northern tribe Israel. This was the judgment that came down. It was sealed from the mouth of Hosea, Yah gave unto him. So they had nothing for 2,700 years, nothing for them. So let me continue in 5. Say, listen to this, you priests, and this was the prophecy to Hosea concerning Israel, the northern tribe, before it came down on Yada. So keep that in mind. It said, listen to this, you priests, and all of Israel leaders. Listen to all you men of the royal family. You are doomed. See, the seal was dead. It said you are doomed. For you have deluded the people with idols. You see that? At Mizpah and Tabor, and dug a deep pit to trap them in Acacia. But never forget, I will settle up with all of you for what you have done. Because I want to keep this in mind. The Syrian army, the one that expelled them from the land, Abiyah got to root them up out of the land, out of their territories. So verse 3 reads, I have seen your evil deeds 2,700 years ago. Israel, remember when I say Israel, this is not talking about the whole 12 tribes. This is just talking about the 10 that got put out. Basically 9, but you say 10 when you add the two brothers that fall under Yada. So it said and they count each brother as a tribe of peace, but they come from under one tribe of Yasef. So let me keep reading. It says, I have seen your evil deeds, Israel Yah. You have lifted me, you have left me as a prostitute. Leave her husband. You are utterly defiled. See, Abiyah said, as a prostitute leave her husband, Abiyah said, the northern tribe of Israel Yah left him in the same manner, running after Elohims. He said, and he said, you are utterly defiled, see, unclean. Your deeds won't let you come to Bara again. See, at that time they were so cut off, even their works, they were so defiled, wouldn't even turn back to Yah again. He said, for the spirit of adultery is deep within you, and you cannot know Yah. You see that? That's why some people got this adultery spirit so deep in them, they can't know Yah. This Elohim, this Elohim worship, this God worship, it's so bad in it. Calling him a God, you don't even know him. Some people got this idolatry practice, bowing down to things, worshiping, praising things, offering to things other than the Creator. You don't know him. Can't even come unto him. It said, your deeds won't let you come to Bara again. For the spirit of, see, it's a spirit of adultery. See, the spirit, this knowledge you have of something else won't let you come back to Yah. Because in your mind, you believe this got you rich. Like a lot of people got a spirit of the Hebrew family that don't want to leave United States. They say they do one part of their mind, other part they don't want to leave because they don't want to leave their jobs. They don't trust Abiyah enough to come and gather with the brothers and start over fresh in the right way and be under Abiyah protection. They scared, so they got another spirit because the spirit of Yah tell you to unite, and that's what shows in the prophecies. So let me continue to verse 5. The very arrogance of Israel testified against her in my court. See, in Abiyah court, she will stumble under her load of guilt. And Yada too shall fall. You see that? Now, Yada getting included into the mix. It's a Yada too shall fall. And then at last, they will come with their flocks and herds to offer to Barak. See? See, Israel, Eliah, the nation, northern nation fell first. Then Yada fall too. He said, then at last, they will come with their flocks and herds to offer to Barak. But it will be too late. And they will not find him. You see that? And he has withdrawn from them, and they are left alone. You see that, brothers and sisters? Showing for a period of time, no king is given, no Messiah. They made everything up in that New Testament for you. Yes, they robbed from the books of Yah, the prophets, and insert all of them in there and confuse your mind. If you've been punished, you think Abiyah sent the king 2,000 years ago? If he sent the king 2,000 years ago, that king would have reestablished you back in the land of Yah, not leave and go away for 2,000 years and say, I'll go away to prepare a place for you while you just dying off. You know, after they said he left, over 100 million people of the Hebrew family got killed during the transatlantic slave trade, beside the Islam slave trade. What salvation is that? What deliverance is that if you had a Savior 2,000 years ago? That's not the Savior of Yah. Yah never said a Messiah would come and do these things and leave you and say, okay, he died to forgive you for your sins, and then 200 million get killed after that. No, brothers and sisters. Yah said a long time, many days would turn out to be many years without a king, a Messiah, a priest, a prince. So let me continue. Let me get my spot again. Let me go to, let me see. I was looking too far over. He said the very arrogance of, I read that part. He said he has withdrawn from them and they are left alone. See, Yah in Israel, Yah this time. Verse 7 on chapter 5 of Hosea. He said, for they have betrayed, he said, for they, both have betrayed the honor of Yah and bearing children that ought in his. See, bearing children, why he said bearing children is not here? Because now you having children that is not dedicated up to Yah, but dedicated to the gods you serve. So how can these children be his unless you turn back and dedicate them to Yah? See? How long must this continue, brothers and sisters? And then at last, oh, no, excuse me, verse 7, for they have betrayed the honor of Yah. See, the honor of Yah is to keep his law, to obey him by keeping his laws. But they betrayed him and bearing children that aren't his. And suddenly, their wealth will disappear. You see that? See, the wealth went of Israel, Yah and Israel, Yah, when they betrayed Yah. It went after the Elohims. And then their children did not belong to Yah no more. With someone else. So let me continue to read. It's a sound alarm. Warn the trumpet blast. In Gibeah and Ramah. And on every, and over Beth Aven. Tremble. Land of Benjamin. Hear this announcement. Israel, when your days of punishment comes. You see that? There was a warning back then to tell them when your days of punishment came. Remember all y'all said, when the day of the punishment came, they'll be without all these things. You will become a heap of rubble. 10. It said, leaders of Yada have become the Lord's sort of thieves. See? The Lord's sort, the worst kinds of thieves. And boy, Yada could steal. Now I can see that in America. And the Lord's sort of thieves. It said, therefore I will pour my anger down upon them like a waterfall. You see that? And Ephraim will be crushed and broken by my sentence, because she is determined to follow idols. You get that, brother? Determined, had a mind made up, the northern tribe, to follow idols. See, them idols they call Elohims. Let me continue. He said, I will destroy her as a moth does wool. He said, I will sap away the strength of Yada like dry rot. You see that? Do we not have strength? Have not our power where we go all over the earth? We got no power, no military might, very little spiritual power at this time, but it's increasing daily because of what we have done to Yah by turning away from him, Bara of the heaven and earth, and serve Elohim, gods, what they call idols. The idols are gods and Elohim, what they call them, the images that people bow down and worship. So I would tear Ephraim and Yada as a lion, rip apart and pray. See, Abiyah said he would tear. And boy, did he do that. Rip apart as prey. He said, I would carry them off and chase all rescuers away. It's red dick. You see that? Mock that. Seal that. Proclaim that. In verse 14, he said, both nations going to be chased away out of the land without a rescue. You know what they call a rescue, a deliverer, a savior, a messiah? We have no messiah since the time we got put out of that land, brothers and sisters. There was no son of Yah given to the Hebrew family during these time periods. He said, I would tear Ephraim and Yah as a lion rip apart its prey. And I would carry them off and chase all rescuers away. You see that? He wouldn't allow nobody to deliver you, to the punishment be complete. He said, I will abandon them and return to my home until they admit their guilt and look to me for help again. You see that? Until we admit, we got to admit the guilt. That's why I did that confession. Our wrongdoing. A lot of our brothers and sisters don't understand the guilt of our ancestors is the Elohim worship. You call him God out of ignorance. Somebody taught you that. You call him Elohim out of ignorance. Somebody taught you that. Therefore, you hold on to your guilt, brothers and sisters. Doesn't matter how old you are and how much you think you know. These are the things that got us put out. Let me find my place, brothers and sisters. Let me find my place. Once again, he said, I would tear Ephraim and Yada as a lion and rip apart its prey. And I would carry them off and chase all rescuers away. And I would abandon them and return to my home until they admit. You see that? Yah said he's going to return to his home, which is in the kingdom of heaven, where he dwells at this time, but soon to come to the earth and dwell on the earth. He said, I will abandon them and return. But he's going to clean this earth up, brothers and sisters, on his return. He said, I will abandon them and return to my home until they admit their guilt and look to me for help again. For as soon as trouble comes, they will search for me and say, you see that? It's not we doing that now, brother. Troubles come, we waking up to this fact. We learning those who eyes is open to admit their guilt. And to look for Yah for help again. Remember when our ancestors sung Kumbaya? A lot of people don't know what that means. They think they know what it means. Kumbaya mean help Yah. Our people going through so much trouble to ask Abba to help them. A lot of people don't know what that song really deep means. Kumbaya, help Yah. Come by Yah to help to deliver us, take us home. That's what they were saying in that song, brothers and sisters. That's why in that song, in that phrase, show you the name of the Creator. They was asking Yah to come by to help them. Let me yet read a little bit more, brothers and sisters. I'm just going to cover chapter 6, then I'll probably cut it off at chapter 6. It said, come let us return to Yah. It is he who has torn us. See that? He will help us. He will heal us. He will heal us. He has wounded. He will bind us up. You see that? Yah has wounded us. Don't that sound like the person in the side that I'm going to deal with for chapter 53? Don't think, brothers and sisters. I know y'all think I'm shying away from Isaiah 53. I'm going to tackle that. But you got to read chapter 40 to 60. We're going to deal with chapter 53. I see brothers and sisters want to point that out to me. But first, I'm going to let Hosea finish crushing the falsehood. Then Isaiah going to follow up suit. It said, come let us return to Yah. It is he who has torn us. See? He will heal us. He has wounded, and he will bind us up. In just a couple of days, or 3 at the most, in just a couple of days, or 3 at the most, he will set us on our feet again, to live in his kindness. Remember what we must do. We must admit our guilt and turn back to Yah. We got to confess our sins. and the sins of our ancestors and admit our guilt. And also we got to acknowledge that our punishment was just and righteous. What Abiyah put on us. We got to acknowledge all these things before Abiyah turn back to his brothers and sisters. I done these things on behalf of me and the family, but I ask other brothers and sisters to do likewise. See the videos about my own confession to learn these things, the real sayings of Yah. It said, oh, let me go continue to read. It said, verse 3, chapter 6. Oh, that we might know Yah, and let us press on to know him. And he will respond to us as surely as the coming of dawn, or the rain of early spring. O Ephraim and Yada, what shall I do with you? For your love vanishes like morning clouds, and disappear like dew. I sent my prophets to warn you of your doom. You see that? See, it was the prophet was the last stance. The voice of Yah spoke through the prophets. Nobody else, not apostles, but the prophets. He said, I warn you of your doom. I have slain you with the words of my mouth. You see that? Threatening you with death. Suddenly, without warning, my judgment will strike you. As surely as day followed night. He said, I don't want your offerings. I want your love. I don't want your offerings. I want you to know me. You see what Abiyah wants from us, brothers and sisters? He wants our love towards him. He wants us to obey him, to keep his laws, his statute and judgment. He said he don't want our offering, but he wants our love, which is our obedience to him. He said, I want your offering. I don't want your offerings. I want you to know me. See, I want us to know him. And to know him is to obey his words. That's how we know him. And follow him. Remember, he said, we must follow his ways and his thoughts. He said, your ways and your thoughts is not mine. We got to follow his ways and thoughts. The world trying to get us to follow in their ways and thoughts, but not the ways of Yah. Keep that in mind. Chapter 7 reads, but like Adam, you broke my covenant. See the agreement? He said, you refused my love. See, the covenant was an act of love of Yah. Remember all these things he said he would do for us if we obey him, if we keep this agreement with him. He said, I will set you high and never below. And our ancestors made a promise to him. Then what they do, they renege. They turned another way. From the leaders to the lowest. Because the lowest always get, when the people in low status always get more comfortable, when the leaders turn, they get even more comfortable because they got nobody to guide them in the ways of truth. So they get comfortable with sin because everybody else doing it. So it becomes easy to do because they got nobody to tell them, no, don't do that. So verse 7 said, like Adam, you broke my covenant, which is the agreement. You refused my love. Gilead is a city of sinners, tracked with footprints of blood. Her citizens, gangs of robbers, lying in ambush for their victim. Isn't that not what our brothers do today? Packs of priests murder along the road to Shechem and practice every kind of sin. You see that? Yes, I have seen a horrible thing in Israel, Yah. Ephraim chasing other, Elohims. Israel, Yah, utterly defiled. It said, O Yah, for you also there is a plentiful of harvest of punishment waiting. And I want so much to bless you. See? Let me go to chapter 7 since I got a little bit more time. You see, Abiyah said, I wanted so much to bless Yah. He said, for you also there's a plentiful harvest of punishment waiting. And I wanted so much to bless you, barak you. 7. I wanted to forgive Israel, Yah, but her sins were far too great. No one can even live in Samaria without being a liar, thief, and bandit. Her people never seem to recognize that I am watching them. Their sinful deeds give them away on every side. I see them all. See what the words of Father, he sees all, brothers and sisters. And so all of them. He said, the king is glad about their wickedness. The prince laugh about their lies. They are all adulterers. As a baker's oven is constantly aflame, except while he kneads the dough and waits for it to rise. So are these people constantly aflame with lust. It's an old, on the king's birthday, the prince get him drunk. And so many people do that. He make a fool of himself and drink with those who mock him. It said, their hearts blaze like a furnace with intrigue. Their plots smolder through the night, and in the morning it flames forth like raging fire. It said, they kill their kings one after another, and none cries out to me for help. You see that? He said, my people mingle with the heathen. See, he said, his people mingle with the heathen, the nations, other nations, picking up their evil ways. See, mingling and picking up their evil ways. It's not ABBA words going out today to tell our people to come out from this unclean nation. But our people still want to mingle on their jobs, mingle on their colleges, mingle to get their education, to make money. Not trusting Yah to come together and he will give us all we need. He said, my people mingle with the heathen, picking up their evil ways. And that's what you're going to do, brothers and sisters. And that's what you're doing, and that's what is going on. You're picking up their evil ways in these places. Even working side by side with these people. You become more stubborn to the will of Yah. As they're picking up their evil ways, thus they become as great for nothing as a half-baked cake. You get that? Yah knows you. He watches you. He see what you're doing now, brothers and sisters. Everyone that of you that rebel, to come together. He said, worshiping foreign gods. See? Worshiping these foreign Elohims. This time they don't have the word other. They're just plain to tell you. Worshiping foreign Elohims has snapped their strength. You see that? Right there, brothers, verse 9. In chapter 7 Hosea. Worshiping the gods, worshiping the Elohim, the foreign Elohims has sapped your strength. But they don't know it. You see that? And he said they didn't even know this until today. A lot of our people still don't know what is the reason why we got put out. Because of the foreign Elohims has snapped their strength. But they don't know it. Ephraim's head is turning gray. And he doesn't even realize how weak and old he is. His pride in Elohims, which is they got gods, has openly condemned him. You see, exalting any gods, the Elohims, has condemned him. He said, yet he doesn't return to his Barak, who is the Almighty, the Creator, should die, nor even try to find him. He said, Ephraim is a silly, witless dove, calling to Egypt, flying to Assyria. But as she flies, I throw my net over her and bring her down like a bird from the sky. And I will punish her for all of her evil ways. You see that? He said, woe to my people for deserting me, let them perish, for they have sinned against me. I wanted to redeem them, but they but their hard hearts will not accept the truth. You see that? How many people hearts? See, when your heart is your emotions, and your emotions, your mind, your emotions, your strong passion will drive you to either stay in America or obey Yah and say, let's go, let's do this. You'll be eager to do it now. Or you'll be so eager to say, give me time, let me get 3 months or 2 months, and I'll meet y'all down there and we'll get this going. That's when you know you got the heart to obey Yah and you understand Yah. But those who say, I'm going to college right now, I'm going to get my education right now. Your heart is to love America, even though you can say all this other on the one side of your mind. But your passion is not for Yah. Because everything in Yah's word, in the prophets that was given for this time when we be awakened, is to rise up, to come together, and then go home on these boats. Go to the wilderness, because we got to know the orders of Yah. A lot of people don't know the plans of Yah. And go into this wilderness where we meet Yah. But first we come together and move as a nation. Not a scattered nation. Y'all got to come together in America, and all the other tribes will follow suit. Don't call yourself a nation and you're not coming together as a nation in America. You're faking. You don't have the heart to drive for him. To have a heart will make you move. Like brothers going on a meeting in Florida. I hope the brothers going to a meeting and saying come together on the coastline, because that's where the ship's going to go. I hope they have that knowledge. But they're going together and have a meeting talking about we're going to baptize and immerse somebody. That's falsehood. Ain't not one scripture of Yah come from the mouth of the prophets telling you to immerse anybody. The whole New Testament is falsehood. So let me read this right here, brothers and sisters. It said, woe to my people who for deserting me. Let them perish. See, this is how this is the heart of Yah. Desert Yah, you continue to stand in Yah, you're going to perish, like Yah said. You perish with your hard hearts. That's the heart of Yah. That's the mind of Yah. That's the thoughts of Yah. You keep on deserting him, you're going to perish by your enemies, like Yah told Isaiah chapter 1, verse 20. You keep on disobeying me, your enemy's going to kill you. Yah don't play around with you. He's not going to play around with you. If you're not going to humble to him and move your heart and get right and understand the will of Yah and come together on the East Coast, South Carolina, we meet up. I'm getting to the Pacifics. I don't give a flip about the enemy. Where did the boats come? The Father said, where we came is the way we return. Let me keep reading, brothers and sisters. It said, woe to my people for deserting me. Let them perish, for they have sinned against me. I wanted to redeem them, but their hard hearts will not accept the truth. You see that? It's your heart, brothers and sisters. You got to get right to accept Abiyah's truth. But if your heart stay hard, you stay hard-hearted, and walk in another direction and go to another city, going every place and then bouncing back to city to state to state, when you're supposed to be coming together to unite. Just like in Isaiah chapter 6, it said we got to meet them boats at a certain time on that date. But first we got to unite together. So let me read it. It said 14, and they asked my help Instead, they worship. He said, They, 14. They lie. They lie. They're sleepless with anxiety, but won't ask my help. Instead, they worship heathen gods, the Elohim, asking them for crops and prosperity. It's not that what they go to the church to do, the Bethel church to ask for prosperity. They got they got their own. They minister the prosperity ministers all flock everywhere, and they flock there by the tens and 20,000, asking the Elohim, the God, for help. 15. He said, I have helped them and made them strong. Yet now they turn against me. See, y'all say, he helped our nation. He brought us out of Egypt, crushed the Elohims in Egypt, the pharaohs in Egypt, and crushed them for all the earth to see at that time. Brought you out, made you strong, gave your nation a seven nation stronger than you. You wiped them out. But then you turned around and started doing what they doing. That's our history, brothers and sisters. But yet they turn against Yah. The only ones out of all the earth that ever, as a nation, turn against their Almighty one to serve the same things as the other nation. Now you're more filthy than all of them, and they make fun of you. And then you don't even have the heart to understand the call of Yah at this time. You're playing games. You're talking about the football games, preseason and all this, Javon James and shoes and all this bull crap. And they're killing you. You don't have a heart for Yah. Many of you. That's why Yah said you will be destroyed, brothers. Yah ain't going to play with you. You don't have a heart to Yah, you're going to be destroyed. I don't give a flip about none of y'all that don't have a heart for Yah. That's the honest truth. Because you will never be a benefit to me. Number one, you will never be a benefit to Yah or none of y'all people, because you're always with this doubting mess of Yah. You're always a doubt Yah. If this, if that. I'm not dealing with no if this and that. If you got how that Yah, you will do what he say and get ready to go. Come together first. I don't need friends that don't not love Yah, don't have a heart to move. You have your own heart, brothers and sisters. This what got our people, the hard hearts of our people. Yah did all of these things for us, and our brothers turned from him. Let me continue before I end off. 16. And they look everywhere except to heaven, to the Most High Yah. They are who the Most High Barak. They are like a crooked bow that always miss the targets. Their leaders were perished by the sword of the enemies for their insolence, see, disrespect to me, and all Egypt will laugh at them. You see that, brothers and sisters? Don't you see on right now the biggest one of our biggest foes and one of the biggest laughers at us is the Egyptians. The ones in Egyptian toilets. Even somebody on Hebrew people think they from Egypt or Egyptians. They laughing at us. I see it all on the post. It's right there, brothers and sisters. Why you think they laughing at the seed of you? Because your heart is not right. Your heart, a lot of y'all faking and playing. I see the games y'all play on the internet, on Facebook. I say it as a witness of Yah. It's on there very few people serious about this and had the heart to gather. The only reason why they probably they can't get, because they don't have the money and they're waiting for more to understand this and get on board. With that, brothers and sisters, I love you, and I give it to you without the sugar. Because, brothers and sisters, this is the seriousness of Yah, the seriousness of the time. They killing you, and y'all still want to go to colleges and school, send your children to their school. It's a shame of you. Everything the Father said in the Hosea, you still doing the same thing what your ancestors done. When Yah said you ready, he's ready, waiting for you to do this. But he said you got to do these things. This come from Hosea, the prophet, from the words of Yah. You got to do these things, not going running out here, running across town, Call state and trying to find somebody to baptize. They got nothing. That's for show. That would never save nobody. Only the real words of Yah, saying he waiting for us, like Hosea said, from Yah. We got to admit these things. We got to confess our sins to Yah. And then I'll be able to say he would turn and deliver us, brothers and sisters. And all other prophets say we got to come together. With that, I say Shabbat Shalom.